morning and welcome to day 20 of this series. We already reached the days that start with a 2, which means that we are so close to our deadline. It brings a lot of excitement, but also a bit of fear and overwhelming because we still have so much to do.
5 more days, of which one of them is going to be navigating, 1 full day of probably installing a davit. That's going to be a really cool day. So that's 3 days of getting the boat finished.
So we really have to choose our priorities right now.
But I know what today's priority is, and it's your priority since, what is it, a year and a half? You guys have been asking us this question. What is it?
When are the decks of Yabá finally gonna look good?
And that is today. So we're definitely going to start it today. It's very, very hot. The deck is very, very dry and hot. So we'll see how me and Rafa are going to handle this, because how hot do you think it is? 30 degrees?
Yeah, it's hot.
It's very, very hot. I've been thinking a lot about this job, and I know we're going to tackle it with a big grinder first, get all the black off. Then we're going to go straight after. Rafa's going to be following me with a palm sander to do a smaller detailed job. We're going to have to make sure the edges are looking really, really nice. We don't want any cuts or marks from the grinder.
And all this black has to be gone and become just stripes like this. So all this mess, bye. And this will look nice.
We have already sanded it a few times and topped it up with a bit of epoxy deck caulking compound. However, you can see that the rest still has to be done.
The thing is, we have one good news and one bad news.
Very, very sad news.
The good news is we are finally tackling this deck. We're gonna sand it, we're gonna varnish it, and it's finally gonna look amazing. The bad news is that for that job to be possible, for the deck to be sanded and varnished, we shouldn't have the dogs on board.
That is super sad news, but we are very excited to get this job done. We're going to try and start like in 5 minutes and finish today. Let's try and get some anti-skid varnish on. We've also got a massive can of quartz grain if we need to work. We're just going to be playing around with that later because we don't want this deck to be slippery.
Now, me and my dad are going to go to the guy that's going to help us cutting the new kitchen countertops. We're going to talk to him, give him the frames, the shapes that Ben cut before, so he can use that for guidance. And then after that, my dad will leave with the dogs.
Okay, and I think what I'm going to start with now is remove everything from the deck. Everything from in the pilot house, which means cushions, buckets, ropes, put it all away, because the amount of dust we're going to have here is insane. I don't know how long you're going to be gone, but what's it going to look like when you're back?
I hope ready, so I don't have to be in the dust.
Alright, we'll make sure we sand, vacuum, keep it as organized as possible, but let's get going. I can't wait. I can't believe we're doing this job now.
If you're wondering why it took us so long to do this job, is that we're always dropping stuff on deck. If you look, there are paint stains, there are epoxy stains, there are everything, because we're still building and working. But then, from today onwards, we have to
stop working.
This deck nicely.
No, from today onwards, we're just gonna stop working.
No more paint, no more resin, no more mess, just sunbathing and drinking coconut water.
Okay, you've just eaten 2 minutes of my sanding time.
Okay, let's go.
We have managed to remove everything from the boat, or the deck at least, except for an extension cable, a protective gear, a brush, a shop vac, and the sanding equipment. So all we're going to do now is start from the bow, work our way aft. I'm going to go over with a hard grinder to start with, just to get the majority off. Rafa's going to be following me with a palm sander. Like most things, I think the first time going over the deck is going to be the fastest, and the visual change is going to be very satisfying and fast. Then comes the part where we're going to have to be working with a lot of the corner pieces, all the little edges and stuff, but that is going to be what's going to make it look really, really nice. The goal for today is, don't know, let's get cracking and we'll find out. There is a special way of using a grinder on a deck without digging holes into it, which I'll show you right now. palm sand, you can be a bit more flexible with how you use it, but when you're using a grinder like this, you never want to grind forwards or try and avoid it, because you're very likely to dig a hole into the deck. What you'll see me doing is I'm going to be pulling, touch and pull away, touch, pull away, keeping it as flat as possible and not at an angle. Have a last look at the deck, because this is the last time it's going to be like this. From now onwards, it's only going to get better. Going quite fast. This is all we've done so far, and the GoPro is already overheated, so I'm going to cool you guys down. I think this bow area will take a long time. The deck's quite narrow, I think there's a meter on each side, so this will go quite fast and there's a lot less compound on it. And then over here, this will be the quickest because this hardly has anything. This is still all original. Got a bit shady now. Let's see how long this lasts. Sanding the wood itself is going really fast and smooth, but the grinding this just gets stuck on all that epoxy compound, because it's kind of like a rubber, and that's just taking forever. So I think I've got the hand planer out, and I think that's going to be a very good shortcut. So we're just going to get the rough black parts off, and then we should be good to go with the grinder again. I think that'll, yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. It is holiday season, and my plans for this holiday are to just continue sanding. If you are not planning on sanding a deck like I am, but you're planning on traveling, I think you should hear me out. Staying connected on the go is a must, whether it's for navigating, staying in contact with family and friends, or posting those epic travel pictures. And this is where Holafly comes in. Holafly is a reliable eSIM provider where you don't have to swap out your SIM card that's in your phone right now while you're traveling. You can just download the app and add a data plan onto your phone while maintaining the SIM card that you currently have in your phone. Holafly offers unlimited data plans in most regions. Also, you won't get surprised with those really high roaming costs. What's really nice is that setting it up is like a breeze, which I really wish we had right now because it is scorching. It also works in over 200 destinations. So wherever you're going, just go on their app and you can find a good data plan that suits you. Make sure that Holafly is on that travel list of yours, and don't forget to use Sailing Yabá to get 5% off. We will leave the link in the description below, and most importantly, enjoy your travels. I really hope you don't have to be sanding this holiday.
There was no rain predicted for today. The guys were working so hard and it's all getting wet. Oh, seriously.
not exactly how we saw today going. Managed to get the complete bow triangle area, bow deck finished. I was hoping to get all of it done today, but at least the rain gives us a sample of what it's going to look like varnished, and I'm loving it. So tomorrow morning is going to be another day of sun, hopefully all day. And all this, we're not even going to put it away because we've got so much to finish. Make sure it doesn't get wet. But let's kind of bring it down a bit. We're on such a good flow. Oh well, there'll be other stuff to do. Got loads of time until Christmas. What is it, 5 more days? This rain is tipping it down, and it kind of changes things for the thunder. It kind of changes things for the plans of the day. So I was hoping to also cut some planks for the external white ladder, but that's also not going to work because the table saw is under a tarp right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit down at the table for now and do a bit of editing, have a coffee, and hopefully soon the rain might stop and we can at least do something outside, because until then, not much you can do here. Really, really raining. Rainbow out, the deck is drying a little bit. I think I can get sanding today again. Not varnishing, of course, it's way too humid, but I've put a fan there. I don't know how much that's going to help, but maybe if I can sand like sector per sector, we can get somewhere. We'll get to that in a little bit. I was talking to the owner of the shipyard, Rogério, and he said he had a few spare pieces of wood lying around in the shed that we could use for this ladder to get up. It's the only ladder we have on the boat, so we really, really need one. But I'm just going to take this apart now so we can start working on it. So until the wood dries off the deck, this is just a really, really quick job that I'm going to do to make tomorrow or after tomorrow a lot faster. Just as I got the stuff to take the ladder apart, it started dripping again. Like, there's little drops. How dare they? I believe it's going to be okay though. I have faith. Hope you stay dry under that umbrella. These are all off. We've got the steps over there which can be sanded and varnished even already, but or painted. All we needed was one of these. We've got two, I think. I'll just get rid of that one and we'll use that one and copy it twice, and that can be the side of the step. But we were going to use his table saw, which is out, well, under a tarp right now. So let's go back in. And unfortunately my plan of sanding the rest of the deck today isn't going to work, but there is some blue sky. Maybe there is hope. Don't let these guys get wet. They're watching us and they want to stay dry.
Okay guys, come to shelter with me. We're having a mate. Would you like to have one as well?
Guess what? The sky just felt like watering our Christmas tree again. A lot. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Yeah. The whole tree. Very, very cool.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
What's the song about? The weather outside is frightful. What better thing to do on a rainy afternoon than this? We can't do anything outside today, and I think this is something we owe you guys for a very, very, very long time.
It's not just that, it was like the stars aligned for this moment to happen, because we couldn't continue working outside because of the rain, and we had a Christmas tree
Undecorated.
So we're gonna decorate the tree while answering your questions. One decoration at a time.
I wish we had like a massive one. But where
On
would
the
we put
boat.
it? Where would we put it?
This is the perfect size for the boat.
True. And it's also very, very difficult to find Christmas trees in Brazil, so MP found this one and looks amazing.
You guys did a really good job sending your questions, and we are very, very excited to answer them. Some are very technical, some are very funny, and some are quite fiery. Is that a word?
Fiery? I'm nervous now. I was thinking, what about like warm drinks and Christmas sweaters and hot hats and stuff, but it's like 28 degrees Celsius here, humid, so sunny t-shirts. We're pretending we're drinking warm drinks, but they're actually cocktails. No, I've got a tea and you've got a fizzy.
Gee.
Okay, let's get to it. Decoration number 1.
That's for you. And one decoration means
A question.
a question. So, what's the best and worst thing about living on a boat?
The best thing about living on a boat is that we're on a boat. Like, we're on a boat all the time. Floating, I mean, it's just, it's a romantic feeling of being on a boat, but also we're off the grid. We can choose where we anchor. We can travel the world and be at home at the same time.
I love that part. Also, I feel that we are so connected to nature. I didn't realize that so much when living on the apartment, but living on the boat, you're always aware of the weather around you and how the sky's looking that day and how the morning was looking that day, and I really enjoy that connection.
Same.
And the worst part of living on a boat, I think we're still on the honeymoon phase. It's just that it's so much work that wasn't finished yet, and I feel that that's been tricky because working so much on the boat while floating is more challenging. But I don't have anything that I don't like.
Like the work on the boat, they say wooden boat is a lot of work. And I think after Christmas, after these 25 days when we finish all the work on the boat, we can start our first maintenance.
Don't make me cry. What inspired you to rebuild Yabá instead of buying a ready-to-sail boat? I wouldn't call it inspiration what we were feeling the moment we bought Yabá. We were just really keen on having a boat, and we really undersaw the work underestimated the work that was needed on Yabá. So it was not really inspiration, the word, it was more
lack of knowledge of how much had to be done. But look where we are. I don't regret a single moment.
We really don't.
I want a big boat that looks like a pirate ship. Here we go. Oh, it's got some work to do on it.
Oh, I put in the decoration where I am, but then no one's seeing it.
MP.
Next.
Comment below, do you put all your ornaments on one side of the tree that faces the living room, for example, or do you decorate the whole way around?
You have to do the whole way around.
I'm not sure, there's one part that's always in the corner.
How do the dogs adapt to life on the water? I think it's safe to say they love it.
Well, they were always in the water.
Yeah.
In the shipyard, they were always in the river, so they chose the life. No, they didn't choose the life. The water life chose them.
If you weren't living on a sailboat, what would you be doing instead?
I wouldn't do anything else right now. I can only see sailboat life and...
I don't see myself doing anything else at the moment. Yep, sailboat life for us.
Okay, if we didn't have this boat, I would convert the Volkswagen van,
The combi.
the Combi, and live in that, near the sea, and surf. MP wouldn't do that with me. I think that would be a divorce.
How difficult is it to read criticism or advice from your subscribers? Is it helpful, hurtful, unwelcome, or is it valuable to entertain different ideas?
There were two things in there. There was criticism and advice.
I think criticism is also welcome as long as it's given with kindness, because we are here telling everybody that we don't know what we are doing and we are trying our best to learn it on the way. And then you know that thing because you've done it before and we don't. It is so nice of you to try to teach us. We're really open to learning. So as long as it's given in a nice, kind way, it's always welcome.
Way.
We get an advice, MP, use the roller, and then I'm using the roller. MP, you shouldn't use the roller. So it is difficult to listen to everybody. The final answer is don't be shy to give us your ideas. We would love to hear your advice, suggestions, criticism, ideas. Just
be nice.
Yeah. Does MP mean Maria Paula?
Yes.
Yes, it does. But it can mean many other things.
The funniest suggestion so far was mischievous pixie.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Mainly painting.
Mainly painting. I'm gonna call you mainly painting from now on.
Toast with strawberry jam or orange marmalade?
Marmalade.
We forgot the lights. Don't they go before everything else?
Oh, well, we'll manage. Well, isn't that like our boat build? We do stuff in the wrong order. We'll manage.
Okay, let's put them down.
That's exactly how it goes. We put the ornaments and one of you comments, you forgot the lights.
Yes, we did.
We'll always do it at some point.
What's your favorite meal to cook on board?
You go first.
I think at the moment we are in a very chicken coronation phase.
Yeah, chicken coronation, very good. Is it Australian recipe? No, English recipe.
Yeah, it's from the Queen, isn't it? That's why it's the coronation.
It's kind of a cold chicken and grape and almond curry.
But it's cold, so
for
summer it's very nice.
And it's also good when you live on a boat and when you don't have a lot of power or battery, it doesn't require.
Do you want me to turn the tree?
No, because that would be too easy and it would make too much sense for our type of doing things.
I'll turn it.
Put more decorations on
Oh, what is this? It's the garden.
Okay, go.
Teaching you how to take care of plants. Okay.
Oh. Wait, keep turning.
Oh. Who's more organized on board?
Me.
And who's the bigger procrastinator? Me. The ukulele situation. I wanted to hang it on the wall for 5 months, and when I mentioned to Ben, oh, I wish that was hanging there, he just did it. But because I couldn't choose the perfect place yet, I was not doing it. So yeah, definitely.
What did you guys think of my ukulele skills in, was it 2 episodes ago? Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Espero año y felicidad.
Very good.
Yeah, really?
No,
Them.
no, they didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Wait, I'll be back in a second. I'm going to plug it in.
Oh yeah, sure.
We can't not have the lights on.
I think I've been putting decoration without a question. Should I just keep going like that?
No. Yeah.
Whoa. Huh? No.
That's fun for you guys.
Slow, slow.
There, or on. I think we did a good job. That'll do. Slow on, slow off.
Okay.
It's too hot for a tea and a Christmas hat.
That's why I'm having something cold.
Do it for you guys.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone starting a big boat project like Yabá?
Generally, know what you're getting into and talk to a lot of people with knowledge on the subject.
But we didn't do that and we still are happy.
Yeah, but it would have helped. Because the main thing I think I would have liked to do is buy almost everything up front. All the sanding discs, all the
Well,
nails.
you're giving a technical answer. That's not it. It's more, I'll say, the best advice I got was from Ben. I think at the first month of the boat build, it was so tough to watch the boat just being torn apart, and every day I felt like crying. And Ben told me that if we were gonna be doing that, what we thought, for 6 months, and I would cry every day, it was gonna be very tough 6 months. So he just said, like, accept what's rotten is rotten, and think that as an opportunity of having something brand new, and you having an opportunity of learning something new, and try to have something make you smile at least once a day. So every day I would come back home, the boat would be newer, I would have laughed at something, and I would have learned something new. So then I started having great days.
That's a good tip. Yeah, remove the technical one, and that's a better answer. You're right. But know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
That would have helped us a lot. I think if we knew what we were getting into, we wouldn't have this YouTube channel. We wouldn't have the boat.
We know.
We know, yeah.
What's your favorite feature of Yabá that you added or rebuilt?
You go. Wait, now we're not doing any ornaments.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll answer.
I'm so bad at this.
I'll answer and you do the decoration.
Okay.
So I think the best change we did on Yabá, in my opinion, was opening the galley. Well, changing the layout to having it open. So when someone's cooking and there are people outside of the round table, everyone is together. So I think that's the best change we did. But things we added, I think I really love the lithium batteries that we have from Battleborn. They really change our lives instead of having 16 acid batteries.
Yeah, it's 16 like truck, semi, like big camping batteries.
We have this bank that's very nice, of the Victory equipment, like things that we added that I think make our life easier and better, definitely that.
Mine would be, it's not here yet, but a David system.
When it's here.
And
the cinema.
And the cinema. We haven't been using it much lately because every time
because we're editing all the time.
we finish work, no matter what. See, it's good as new.
I think we need to answer the questions quicker, otherwise we're gonna be here forever.
Okay, let's fly through them.
Okay.
Ornament.
When are you going to finish the decks? When the rain stops.
Well, start this morning, finish tomorrow.
How is Ben's finger doing?
It's doing very well. I can actually do work now without it bleeding every time.
Nice. Where are the sails? Are you planning to replace them?
We are not planning on replacing them anytime soon. The only problem with them was the UV protection around around the edges. 2 sails are being mended. One is actually up. It's the one on the bowsprit.
Has been mended?
Has been mended. And the other one that has been mended is on the roof, on the deck of the boat, because the mast snapped and it's now shorter.
Been mended.
Hasn't it?
No.
No, it hasn't.
So the one at the bow is mended. 2 are being mended, and the one that's the main sail, we're still not doing anything because now that the mast is a bit shorter, we have to actually define what's the next plan there. But Christmas is coming and we want to sail up north, so we really hope the sails are ready by this week.
Otherwise we'll sew some bed sheets together, if anything.
And regarding the replacing of the sails, we're going to start sailing now, and if they last a month, then we'll replace them. If they last a year, and then we'll replace them.
They're very solid. Nice short answer.
Now with full water and fuel, how is the waterline centered from aft to stern?
We are still figuring that out, but it's hardly noticeable. Right now, we're leaning about 10 degrees to starboard because we're sitting in the mud at the dock because it's low tide right now.
Would you install a bow thruster if one magically appeared on deck someday?
I'm not sure about that. The way we don't enter marinas generally. Our boat can almost pivot around its axis. I don't know. Haven't needed it yet. If we just...
It needs an extra hole on the hull.
A hole on the hull?
Yeah. Do you ever worry about jumping into murky water at dusk in an ocean that may have sharks in it? I don't think our region has many sharks, and that's why we dare to jump at night like we do. Probably when we are somewhere else, like Bahamas, with tiger sharks, we're gonna behave differently.
Yeah.
Which of you would win in a Nerf gun shootout?
Well,
we all know it's Ben.
I used to be a gamer, so
and I have horrible aim. Like, forget about it. Are you going to fit a DEF compressor to the boat at some point? We would definitely love to. Yeah. May I have a cookie?
Yes.
Of course. Mainly if you're Santa.
And if you've got a spare one, I'll have one as well.
any plans to visit Oli and Mom and Dad, which are Roberto and Luca, we would really love to see them soon and meet baby Oli, seriously. Oh yeah, by the way. What's something you're most excited about for the upcoming episodes? Not having to edit every day until 4 a.m.
I'm excited to start new content because we'll be out traveling, sailing, and not doing all this building.
The cool thing about this Christmas deadline challenge that we created is not only that the boat will be looking nicer for the carpenters, but it's also giving closure to this year that even though we launched was still a lot about building. And then we can finally start 2025 focusing mainly on sailing. So that's what I'm excited about for the next episodes. So now the next episodes are very exciting because we're going to have the carpenters on board soon and that's going to be amazing. But then after that, next year, I really want to sail and dive and kite surf and do more like that. Because I think the main things will be built and then we can do whatever's missing on the go while focusing more on traveling. Did you get a Starlink system? Yes, and that's how you are watching all the daily episodes. Are you planning on installing a radar system for better visibility at night or in bad weather? We do have the radar and it is installed, but we believe our wire...
So the power wire is working, but the network wire isn't. So I just have to replace it.
Yeah, it sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't. So
we've got the wire here, actually.
Yeah, we just need to climb up the mast, but Ben got injured and he's the one that goes up to do those
And so far our navigations haven't really, we didn't feel like we needed it yet, but there will be moments where we will.
What's something surprising viewers wouldn't guess about making these videos? The daily ones or all the episodes? Like
Similar.
In general?
Sorry, that was mine.
I think for the daily episodes I think viewers don't know because we're getting comments like you should do this forever or something like that, is that we're not sleeping to make this happen.
And with the weekly episodes, let's say it starts raining at lunchtime while sanding the deck, we stop and we continue the next day and that can all become the same episode and we can try and get as much of a project fit in as possible. But as it's a daily episode, I can't grab tomorrow's footage and add it to today's episode and finish the deck for you guys.
And you cannot grab tomorrow's sun to bring
Yeah, exactly. So we're literally showing you what's happening day by day. Yeah. And we start, I think every episode we start with about 2 to 3 hours of footage and we narrow it down to 15 to 30 minutes.
The dailies.
The
weekly ones is like
6 or
7, 8, even, yeah, crazy. Okay.
Bet you didn't know that.
Bet you didn't know that. Are there any funny or awkward moments that you cut from your episodes? Many. What's been the most emotional episode to create so far and why?
Easy. The launch.
Happy
moment because we launched, but also saying goodbye to that part of our build, of our life.
And also, our family was here, your mom was here, our friends were there as a surprise. We didn't know people were coming. It was a very emotional day, and then editing that episode,
Who took care of the invite? Your mom?
My mom secretly invited
she
many
secretly
people.
invited a lot of friends who came from far. And funny thing, I just realized, we're 30. Well, we were 30 when we launched. I was 31.
I was 30.
We've been building the boat for 3 to 4 years, which is 10% of our life. 10% of our life we've been building this boat.
And 50% of our relationship.
And 50% of our relationship. That just dawned on me.
I would like to know more history on the boat. Do you have the original logbooks?
No logbooks.
We are the 4th owner of Yabá. That's what we know.
First, Yabá was, I believe, empty on the inside. Maybe some bunks and stuff. All white. The helm was open air, which is why it was closed here on top of the stairs, we believe. And
the
it
guy
didn't have the pilot house at all. It was just open. Second owners
were the ones that really transformed Yabá in a comfy home.
Put their interior into it.
Yeah.
And the pilot house, don't know if the furling systems were on before or not, but
they did it.
Yeah?
They chose the sails. Okay. They did all that.
They did all that. The third owner had it for about a year and left it to us.
The third owner was doing awareness project, going more in rivers and visiting schools, talking about trash and all that to kids in schools. And then we got the boat and we transformed her in our home.
Yeah.
Did you keep any of the chocolate pudding from when Yabá was first cleaned up?
Not pudding, but for example, this is going on the wall soon.
We did keep many souvenirs of the state of Yabá, but specifically the chocolate cake was rotten wood, so we really couldn't keep that. Yeah.
And this is part of the keel that's been cut off.
Do you plan... Oh, sorry. Do you plan on staying where you are or traveling north like Duke and Roberta did?
Definitely traveling north.
Our idea is to do the Brazilian coast and then who knows what's next. But before going on that long trip, we would like to lift Yabá one more time at the same shipyard and then we can go. But
I've got another list of things we want to do then, but that's nothing to do with now.
I know that Duke and Roberta were very keen about getting to the Caribbean, so they kind of rushed the Brazilian coast and that took them 14 months. The Brazilian coast is huge, it's 8,000 kilometers of coastline. So I think we will be taking our time, really visiting the places we want, and if we're enjoying it, we'll stay there, exploring and showing you guys
and we want to show this to you. There are places that are, you would mistake them for the Caribbean, like isolated places, and you don't know they exist.
And you, if you're from the US, you know how each state can be different in culture, or in Europe, each country can be different. Brazil is like that as well. Each province has a different accent, different food that they eat, different music, different landscape. So it's gonna be such a rich experience for us. And we would love to bring Yabá to where she was born, which is in Bahia.
Salvador, Bahia.
When is the David being installed and how long will it take to install? So we are here in this river because we want to have the David installed. We have 5 more days before Christmas and I really hope it's gonna happen in the next upcoming days. Do you think you get the faded painting replaced with a new one soon? I know you're talking about the one in the door outside, right? Every time you walk by it, it reminds me that you have a new copy. So we have a sticker of Yabá in Bahia with Iemanjá on the door and it faded, it's almost white. And the previous owners gave us the original aquarela. And it's a precious thing and we love it. The thing is, so far I couldn't find a place to make a copy of something so big in color. All the places that I found could do the copy just in black and white. And we don't want to put the original there because it wouldn't last a day, like with this weather. So we were in this dilemma of what to do to make it happen until we had an idea.
Next question, you'll see what the idea is very soon. It's very cool and she showed me today for the first time.
Ben, does your family live in Portugal?
My dad lives in Portugal.
And how did you meet MP?
In Vlissingen in the Netherlands at university. She was there for an exchange. I was there for full-time studying. We were doing business management and we got on really well. Then later on, how many years later?
3.
3 years later, she came to Belgium to visit us and never left.
Until I left to Brazil to buy a boat.
Until we left to Brazil to buy a boat.
You should put this one on.
Okay, this is an ornament that my mum gave us. This is from our little hometown in Belgium.
Oh, that's beautiful. Are you planning to sail to the US, specifically to Annapolis?
Oh, we would love to. A
That
long
would
way
be
to get
epic.
there, but that would be very cool.
Imagine us being with Yabá on the Annapolis Boat Show so you guys can meet her in person. Wouldn't that be epic?
With a 24/7 barbecue going on.
In the long run, are you seeing Yabá more as a boat for diving excursions with customers or patrons, while kind of by chance circumnavigating? Or are you more thinking of circumnavigating while taking the opportunity of visiting loads of great diving spots?
Yes.
The difference is in which aspect you are emphasizing. We would love to have people on board with us so we can dive together. That would be really, really amazing. It's what we had in mind since the day we bought Yabá, but because since we splashed, we were always building, that wasn't on the table for us to discuss yet. But I think it would be a good idea if I leave the link to a form on the description below for people who are interested in maybe doing a charter with us for diving or for sailing or for just being with us. And then I can already have your contact, and then whenever we feel ready to open the doors,
Send out an email or something.
then you get an email saying our doors are open, you can come. But for now, we don't know when that's happening because we're still building. We just got to have a warm shower a week ago or less, so we were not ready to have people over. If you could add one luxury item to Yabá, what would it be?
You go.
Water maker at the moment.
Water maker.
Come on, Santa!
Water maker. And right now, air conditioning.
No. Water maker million times before air conditioning. I don't see us having air conditioning. It's just that now we are in the river.
Oh yeah, true.
So it's hot. We cannot go swimming.
No, it's
and
not
there
that.
are mosquitoes.
We're on the river, so there's mosquitoes. So we have to shut the windows and doors at night or in the evening, and it makes it so hot. That's true. I'm taking back my answer because out at sea, you open the windows, you don't have mosquitoes.
Yeah, definitely a water maker, and after that, a diving compressor.
Yes.
Those are the next luxury items we're getting. Speaking of luxury item,
our friends Isa and Richard made this for us.
Yeah.
If you're watching, see you soon, by the way.
but show it to the camera. It's so cute. It's our little family.
I'll come a bit closer. So on here you see the names of the crew, and then under Merry Christmas. It's made really nicely, and like same over here.
Yeah. MP, Ben, Caio, and Licky. That's so cute. What's the next big project for Yabá after the holiday season? To untie the lines and go north. That's the big project. Work-wise, is to not work after this.
I would love to just spend more time with all 4 sails open.
Yeah.
Just like, what are we gonna do today? Let's just hoist the anchor and sail. Like, be out sailing, engine
Yeah.
off. That's. I think we're gonna abuse that.
Do you see yourselves living on Yabá forever, or do you have other long-term plans?
Yeah, but it's such a comfy boat.
We see ourselves doing this forever, and this is how we are feeling, and I hope we feel this way until the last day that we do this, because then when we stop feeling that we want to do this for longer, it might not be making sense to us anymore. So I want to be in love with Yabá and in love with this life for as long as possible. So my answer today is forever, and if that is 5 years, 10 years, or 30 years, I really don't know. But I always want to be feeling this way.
Well, I'm 31 now and my lower back's hurting every time I lift the dinghy engine out, so we'll see what happens after 10 years.
Your long-term plans, would they include sailing around the world, and can Yabá handle the ocean gigantic waves?
Let's find out.
Our plan is literally to find out. So we're going to start going up the coast of Brazil, because where we are now, we have 4 options if you think of north, south, east, west. West is land, so that's not really an option. East is crossing the South Atlantic and go to Africa. For a first trip, it's not really ideal. And then south is also heading to the Argentinian coast with bigger
Low
waves
latitudes.
and going near Cape Horn and Ushuaia. It is a place that I would love to go, but for our first trip, it is other like tougher conditions. So it is natural that we'll choose now to go north, the Brazilian coast. And then we're going to have so much more experience. We're going to learn Yabá's limits. We're going to really start feeling more confident and have more information so we can make these decisions. Is MP pregnant?
Are you?
No.
No.
There is a stalk flying around Yabá a lot since we're here in this river. But no, I'm not pregnant. But will you guys have a baby at some point? Or are you just sticking to dogs?
Our dogs are our babies.
We are very happy with the dogs.
But we do want a baby.
What's the story behind naming your boat Yabá? The thing is, we're
was
not
very
the ones
easy.
who named it. We bought her with the name and we really liked it.
The Yabá is the group of female entities of nature. There is one in particular called Iemanjá, which is the female entity of the sea and takes care of fishermen and rivers. And that's what we think Yabá is, why she's called Yabá.
And also in Tupi-Guarani, which is one of the native languages here in Brazil, Yabá means to escape or to like go somewhere else. And I think both meanings are nice and it sounds nice. Fun fact, it is Yabá, not Yaba. It has the accent on the A at the end. But we don't care if you say Yabá, it's just a fun
Fun
fact.
fact.
How did you feel during Yabá's first sail after years of rebuilding her?
Nervous as hell. I did the rudder system and the engine. You did the engine, and you're like, we're out at sea. We're not in a car if it breaks down.
Lovely. I don't agree with you. I read this question, and I know if you watch that video, I couldn't put it down in words how I was feeling. I was at the brink of crying at every second, looking at Yabá with the sails open after so much work and heart and tears and sweat that we put on it. It was a magical moment for me. Maybe I was not taking on your fear, and I was really soaking in the good emotions of that day. It was amazing. And that was the last question.
That went fast in my opinion.
I still have decorations.
The main ones are up.
Oh no, there's one missing that's very nice. We got this last year for Christmas. Oh, look at that.
Okay. Do you think our branches can hold this?
No, let's put it here as well. It's diving, Bannon and P holding hands. How nice is that?
We really hope you enjoyed this alternative to finishing the deck today, but as we said in the Q&A, it's daily episodes and we can't put together tomorrow's deck cleaning and now, so...
And who knows what tomorrow holds?
Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift, and that's why they call it the present.
That's exactly it.
Tomorrow's a very good mystery. Will it rain?
Will we be able to finish everything we want to finish for Christmas? That's the biggest mystery. I think probably it's not a mystery. We probably know that the answer is no, we cannot finish everything. But my hope won't die until the last minute, and I'm gonna believe that we can.
We really appreciate you guys coming along with us on this 25-day journey. We've got 5 or 4 days, depending on what you want to call it, because this is the end of the episode, the end of the day. We've got 4 days to finish, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, guys. It really has been so much fun to film these daily episodes and share them with you and read your comments and see that you are also excited. And I'm becoming...
You can have my sweaty hat.
Santa.
So, see you tomorrow, bright and early, with sun and some grinding discs.
And no rain. If you know any tricks for the rain not to come, please do it. Thinking of us. Come on.
Thanks for being here, and see you next time. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
¿Es quien dice eso mismo que dijiste?
¿Quién?
El maestro de Kung Fu Panda.
¿La tortuga o la ratita?
No, güey, la tortuga.
Ah, sim. Ah, lá no árvore. Ele fala.
Ele fala, no fala eso.
No árvore, quando tem...
El presente es un regalo, no sé qué, no sé cuánto.
Muy sabio.
Claro, boluda. Oh, so.
Don't tell people that because they think I read intelligent books.
And it's actually from
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda, boluda.